Hello, hi, welcome back to Success Automation. This is the continuous videos or series about the JavaScript for the automation engineers. So in today's topic, I'm going to discuss three things: function with return value, function with a default parameter, and arrow function. These are three topics I'm going to discuss today. So first thing, we'll see what is return, why we have to return the value. So normal, you need to write the function keyword and the method name, and you want to return some value. When you want to return the value, you can return anything. For example, I am returning the 100 here. So this 100 will be return the value. This add function, whenever you call the add function, it will return the value 100. So whenever it is returning, there should be someone, it has to store the value, or someone should catch that value. So the add function, whenever it return, it will store the value inside this total. So we can print this one. So quickly I'll go to the JavaScript compiler, search JavaScript online compiler, select this first one, program is okay. Now remove this, the default value. Now we have to write like this. This is the function reserved, and add is a method name. Anything you can give, add, total, whatever you want, any method. Okay, generally add method or display method, any name you can give. Now one thing you need to observe here, we had to give the return here. When you give the return, it return the 100. You can return anything. So in this case, I just returning 100. So when you call this function, I'm calling this function. Yeah, I need to give the variable here, something total. So whenever you call this function, it returns the 100. This 100 will store in this total variable. Now I want to display this console.log and total. When you call this function, it will display the 100. So like this, you can return the value. Not only 100. For example, I declare one variable. Let a is equal to 10. Let b is equal to 20. I want to return a plus b. Just a plus b. Better to give like this. Now we have the value, let a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. That two values I'm adding and returning this. So this function, it return the a plus b. Now it return a plus b, 10 plus 20. And when you call this function, this is the calling the function. It return the value, it will store in the total. Now when you run this, it displays the 30. So one more thing you need to remember is, not only you can return the value, sometimes you want to print this inside the method. Just a a plus a plus b. You can print inside a method, inside a function or method, and you can print outside when you are calling. So I want to give something meaningful here, a plus b inside the function. Inside the function, what is this? A plus b comma. So it print the complete this quotation, whatever you give inside this, it print, and it will print the a plus b value. Just put dot 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 so that you can get an idea. So here also you can give some text here. outside the function. Outside the function a plus b dash 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 comma. So like this, you can print inside the function as well as you can return this. So anything you can return. You can return a plus b, you can have multiple things, or you do some logical things, you calculate, you did some calculation, that you can return this here. So whenever you return, when a function is called, it'll return the value, and there should be some container to store this. So this is the total. Like this, you can return the value. This is very simple example I told how to return the value. Okay, so make sure that there should not be any space. There should be space here between function name, and don't put the space here, and you need to put this two brackets and give some space here, and give the floor bracket. This is the opening bracket and the closing bracket. Every function will have the opening and the closing bracket, and outside of the closing bracket, you need to call this. Whenever you call, it return the value. That value stored in this container, and I'm printing this. Like this, you can get the value from the method. Now I want to give. I just want to change this name a comma b. Instead of hard coding here, when somebody calling this function, he will give some value. You need to calculate that. For example, here, the calculation what I am doing, a plus b. So when you call this function, you need to pass the two argument value. So here I'll give 100 comma 200. This 100 will be assigned to a, and 200 assigned to b. Now a plus b. Sorry. So this function, you can give the semicolon also. So now what I am doing, when I'm calling this add function, you have to give the add function. When you are calling this add function, you have to pass the two argument value. There are two arguments here, a comma b. These are called arguments. So whenever you call this, when you are calling this function, 100 will assign to a, 200 will assign to b, and it will calculate this, and it will return. When it is return, it return a plus b. 100 plus 200, that is 300. So I am putting this. Like this, you can give any number of arguments. For example, I want to give c comma d. So now you have 4 arguments. Now you have to give 10, 20, comma 30, comma 40. So 4 arguments. Acha, I have given only a plus b. A plus b plus d. Now I am adding a plus b plus c plus d. Means 100, 10 plus 20, 30, 30 plus 30, 60, 60 plus 40, 100. So any number of values, any number of parameter you can give, and you can calculate this. This is all about function with a parameter and return type. Don't try to give like this. It will confuse. Always give some space after return. So like this, you can pass the argument and you can return the value. So this is the function with argument and return. Now Now I want to show function with a default parameter value. Now just remove this. Here what I am doing, I am giving the function some name greet and one argument name. While giving the parameter, I am giving the default value, some default value, something guessed or something. Now when you call this function, two ways you can call this function. Now after giving the parameter and default value, I am printing this hello, and this symbol tilt is before one on the keyboard left side. There is a tilt symbol. You have to give shift and give that, and here also you indicate close. So now this dollar symbol indicate that you are printing the variable name, and you have to give inside this flower bracket dollar flower bracket name variable name this one, and dollar close and exclamatory mark if you want to print, otherwise remove this like this. So there are two ways you can call this function. For example, now I will call this function without passing the argument. There is one parameter here. I am not passing the value. When you run this, it will take the default value. Default means if you don't provide the value, it will take the default value and it will print. The another way is same method. I am giving something name here. Sachin. Now this time, first time it will print the guest. Second time I am giving the parameter value. When you give the parameter value, this Sachin will be assigned to this name and it will print it here. So like this you can call the function. This is function with a default value. Function with default value. You can give any number of argument. For example, I want to give here last name. Last name is equal to something or message welcome. Now first time I'll see. Now we'll print this one, comma, dollar, flower bracket, and message, and this tilde symbol. Don't put the shift, just type it. Before one key, there is a tilde symbol. Just click that, it will get the tilde symbol. Now, first time I will call without any parameter value. So here, what it did, when I'm calling this function greet, there are two parameters, name and message. both parameter value I am not passing. When I am not passing anything, it will take the default value guest and default value of message parameter welcome. Assume that I pass the first one. Now when I pass the first parameter, it first parameter goes to name and printed this one. It ignored the guest value because I'm passing the first parameter value. Second parameter I did not pass, so it took the default value. Assume that I will pass the I'll pass the second value. So now I pass the two parameter values, name and message. Name will be assigned, name Kohli will be assigned to name, message will be passed to this king will be passed to the message. Both the values are when I given, it assigns the two parameter name and message and it displayed. Like this, you can give the default value in the parameter section. This section is called parameter. Function with default values. Like this you can do. Now I will take the arrow function. So arrow function is function which does not, see, I'll tell you what is arrow function. Yeah, I'll tell you the difference between arrow function. See, normally what we'll do, we'll give the function keyword and function name and parameter. This is a parameter. Like this we'll give. Sometimes for simple calculation, you don't need to give the function keyword and no need to give the function name. In such scenarios where you want a simple calculation, for a simple calculation, we need to give the function keyword and the function name. Instead of that, you can use like this. This is the arrow function. You just declare one variable, let something bob2, and the argument. This argument does not have the method name. I did not give any method name. There is no method name, but parameter I given one, and you need to use this arrow. This is called arrow. What will do? Whatever the value you pass to this arrow, it will go to this parameter and it will print. I'll show you. So what we'll know to we'll work on this. So how it will work, I'll show. We'll go to the online editor, remove this. So this is your arrow function. It does not have any function name and there is no reserved function. Now I'm calling this console.log, okay, blob. When I'm calling the blob, I'm giving the parameter value 10. This 10 will be goes to this A and it will go to arrow 10 plus 100. When you call this function, it will take the 10, this one value, it will go here, assign to the A, and this arrow, what will do? 10 plus 100, 110. So like this, you can give two parameters. There are two parameters. And when there are two parameters, you need to pass the two parameters. 10, 20. If you see it, now it will print 30. So You need to give some variable because this function, arrow function, will return the value. When you are calling this variable, you need to give the parameter value. This parameter, how many parameters are there? Two parameters, A and B. Two values you need to pass. And I'm calculating this. You can do anything here. A plus B or A star B. Now 10 into 20. Anything, any calculation you can do. You can do any arithmetic calculation. So this is called arrow function. Arrow functions are the difference between arrow function and normal function is in normal function we'll give the function reserved, function name, parameter, and again you give the return. And you need to give the flower bracket, closing bracket. For a simple calculation, you no need to give all these things. Instead of that, in a single line you can perform. This is called arrow function. So I just give one more example. You can give any third parameter, and third parameter you give 30, and you can do like this: A plus B plus C. So the number of parameter you give here, you need to pass here while calling this variable. This is a variable which store the arrow function return value. This is called arrow function. It will return the A plus B plus C that will store here. When you call this variable, the number of parameter values you need to pass. Like this, you can work on the arrow functions. So this is all about today's video. So I thought of explaining the three things: function with return value, function with the default value, arrow function, and function with a parameter and return. So these are the things I thought of putting in this video. Hope you understood. um, Subscribe my channel and share to your friends who want to learn JavaScript. um, this is a good series for the freshers who are very new to JavaScript. They can learn, and I made it very simple to understand, and this is purely for the automation engineers. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.